Hello everyone. Today I'm going to make a vegetarian dish. Some Indians do know about this, but there are those who don't know how to make this. So I'm going to show you. I'm quite excited today because would you believe it, just for once there's an Indian curry that you can make that doesn't use a chopping board, doesn't use a knife, doesn't involve grinding, doesn't involve cutting. This is called Vattal Kolumbu. It's normally made with dried vegetables. Hari ni auntie nak buat satu curry vegetarian. Ini ada orang India tahu, ada orang India pernah dengar tapi tak pernah buat. Tapi ini adalah satu kari yang aunty suka sekali, especially bila kita malas-malas macam ni. Macam hari pun nak hujan, kita dah malas. I suka nak buat macam ni. Nama dia adalah Vattal Kolumbu, iaitu kari sayuran kering. Okay, di India dekat selatan, pertengahan semua ada musim hujan yang panjang tau. So susah nak dapat sayur-sayur semua kan, sayur pun mahal. So masa tu mereka akan buat kari ni. Kari ni memang sedap. So aunty sukalah sebab tak payah pakai pisau, tak payah pakai buat pemotong, tak payah pakai blender tumbuk, satu pun tak payah. Heran kan ada kari macam tu. Okey, yang diperlukan untuk Vattal Kolumbu iaitu kari sayur-sayuran kering ialah ini. Tak semestinya ada, tapi yang tak suka tak payah pakai ni, pakai minyak biasa saja. Ini adalah gingerly oil, minyak bijan orang India punya, bukan yang Cina, itu lain sekali. Lepas tu sedikit garam kasar. Sini ada ghee. Ini pun tak semestinya pakai, tapi aunty pakai. Nanti aunty terangkan kenapa ya. Dan di sini ada rempah-rempah powder lah, iaitu ini adalah serbuk cili merah, ini adalah serbuk jintan putih, ini serbuk ketumbar, serbuk kunyit, dan di sini ada satu nama dia kari masala. Tak semestinya ada, tapi kalau ada untuk apa-apa yang vegetarian memang sedap lah. Okey, rempah campuran dia lain daripada lain. Dia bukan macam kari ikan, kari ayam, tapi ada orang pakai sikit-sikit dalam kari ikan, kari ayam semua, tapi kebanyakannya orang pakai untuk sayur-sayuran lah. Okay, what we need here is of course gingerly oil. For any vegetarian cooking curries, gingerly oil goes very well. But if you don't like the taste of this gingerly oil, which is sesame oil, but the Indian sesame oil, not the Chinese one, then you go for normal oil. I've got a little bit of coarse salt here. I'm only going to use a little bit. And then I have ghee here. This is optional. You want to use, otherwise you just use normal oil or gingerly oil. Here I've got the curry powders, chilli powder, turmeric powder, a bit of ketumbar powder, and a bit of cumin powder. I'll show you the measurements later. What I have here, this is a very good dried product to taste. This is called Sundakkai. In Malay it's called terung pipit. You would have seen it in supermarkets sometimes, but this is the dried version. Okay, and this is Sundakkai in Tamil. It's called turkey berry in English, and this is cluster beans in English, and in Tamil it's called Kotha, Avarakai. And this is mango that is dried. Okay, I must tell you about all these three things are called Vathal. Chili Kering is also a Vathal, for your information. Any vegetables that's dried, really dried, is called Vathal. Okay, you can use anything you want. Some people just use the turkey berries, which is the Sundakkai. You can buy these things in typical Indian provision shops. They are not that expensive. I think these three things will be about $6 at the most, all three. You can use just one item, just this, or just the mango, or just the cluster beans, or you can have any mix you like. The thing is, I've only got three here. They have hundreds of them. Honestly, they have lots of them. They even have brinjals that are dried, many other vegetables that are dried, even the perengayam that you call drumstick. Ini adalah tiga sayur-sayuran kering yang aunty ambil. Chili kering pun dikira Vathal sebab kering. Okay, semua ni adalah bahan-bahan yang kering. Banyak, ada beratus lah dia punya sayur-sayur kering. Terpulang pada kamu, apa kamu nak masak hari tu. Saya sebab nak clear stock, saya masak 3 sekali. Ni saya masak untuk macam 10 orang. Nanti akan taruh dalam freezer lah, sebab ini boleh tahan dalam freezer. Buat cool down, kasih cool, dan masukkan dalam Tupperware ya. Ini sebenarnya semua ni sangat bergaram, sebab cara dia orang buat yang tiga ni dengan yang lain-lain sama lah. Dia orang rendam, cuci, keringkan, lepas tu rendam dengan garam dan tairu semalaman mungkin. Lepas tu untuk beberapa hari kari sampai kering-kering macam ni, diorang akan jemur ya. Ini nama dia cluster beans dalam bahasa orang putih. Ini bukan daripada pokok saga ke apa ya. Dia memang satu jenis sayuran lah. Kalau Google tengok cluster beans, memang dapat tengoklah dalam satu tangkai tu ada banyak dia tumbuh. Yang ni mangga biasa, diorang potong-potong dan keringkan cara yang sama. Yang ni terung pipit. Orang Melayu semua tahu terung pipit. This is Sundakkai. It's a type of brinjal. In Malaysia, the Malays use it, I think. And the fresh ones are sold. I've seen them in supermarkets. Tiny green vegetables, okay? And if it's cracked, if they actually break it before salting them. The reason being, if you don't break it and salt it with yogurt, if you don't break it, there's a chance when you roast it in oil or ghee, it might pop and burst into your face. So for that reason, they always break it before they even do the frying. And that's about it. I'm using all three. You can use either one, just the mangoes or this or that. Now, the amount of asam, there's no coconut milk in this, nothing. The amount of asam you use will vary on the type of vegetables. If you know, dried mangoes are very, very sour. If you're not using dried mangoes, please increase the amount you use. For this, I would only use like a small lime. And for that much of dried mangoes, I would use at first with this much of water. You can increase the water later. I might just use one. Remember, 10 people should be able to consume this. But one flat soup spoon of tamarind. We can adjust it later if we want more. Kalau pakai asam jawa, untuk banyak ni 10 orang makan boleh, saya rasa. Pakai 1 limau nipis kecil saja asam jawa ya. Tapi anti pakai asam paste ni untuk 10 orang makan, nanti masukkan 1 saja sudu sup rata pada permulaannya sebab banyak mangga dekat situ. Okay, so saya kurangkan, nanti boleh adjust kalau perlu. Nampak tak? Tak ada pakai pisau, tak ada pakai blender. Okay, dan di sini ada macam 15 bawang merah kecil, cili kering ada macam 4, tak payah koyak apa. Dan di sini ada 1,5 labu bawang putih yang telah dibakar ya, ada jual dekat supermarket semua. Tapi kalau tak ada, tak apa, banyak orang buat tanpa yang ini sebab ini betul-betul rustic kan, dia punya cara masakkan tu macam asli lah kan. So anti pakai ini sebab ada pun di rumah ya, so anti pakai. Tapi bawang merah ni kecil, kena banyak sikit lah. Yang diperlukan ialah ni ya, hing. Lepas tu ada jaggery ya, 2 keping macam ni saya ambil sebab memang perlu. Daun kari 2,5 sudu sup halba, 1 sudu sup rata jintan putih dan setengah sudu sup urad dhall, setengah sudah sudu sup. Tapi ini banyak, kalau kamu masak sikit saja, ambil sikit aja ya. Sekarang saya akan rendam ni. Yang ni kita rendam dan buang air dia sebab terlalu masin. The other things we will need besides this tamarind water is 2 ripe tomatoes. Now I don't have the energy in my hands to squeeze these 2 tomatoes, so that's the only thing I'll be cutting small into cubes. Other than that, I have here 1.5 roasted garlic. Because this is a very rustic dish, I'm using something rustic. This will give a nice flavor. 1.5 of it. Okay, and 4 dried chillies, about 15 shallots. Do not cut them, just leave them as they are. And I have 2 curry leaves, some asafoetida powder, and this jaggery, but I don't have jaggery, so I'm using vellam. And I've got half a soup spoon of fennel, and then I have here 1 flat soup spoon of cumin and half a soup spoon of urad dhall. I've already soaked the mangoes, and now I'll get the curry powders ready. Always remember, I'm making for 10 people. Saya buat ni untuk 10 orang ya. Now I'm going to mix the curry powders. You adjust accordingly as to how you would like it. Also keep in mind, this is for 10 people. And also keep in mind, I'm using something called curry masala. This is salty as well as a bit hot, meaning chili hot. So I'm adjusting all this according to my preference. For now, I'm putting for 10 people about 1.5 of chili powder for now. Turmeric powder, I would use half a soup spoon. Okay, saya masukkan 1,5 sudu sup serbuk cili dan setengah sudu sup serbuk kunyit. Ini sebab saya menggunakan rempah kari masala ni dari Aachi brand. Apa-apa brand pun boleh kalau dapat rempah kari masala. Dia lain sikit, dia bukan garam masala ya. Ini sedap untuk masakkan sayur-sayuran ya. Wangi, it's got a very wonderful smell. I'm using 1 full soup spoon and also a little bit of Cumin powder. Saya pakai serbuk kari masala ni yang bagus untuk makanan saya sayuran lah. Saya pakai setengah saja ni ya. Sudu sup serbuk jintan putih. Dan ini chili powder. Ini adalah serbuk ketumbar ya. Serbuk ketumbar saya pakai satu sudu sup penuh juga. Ini sebab saya nak kari lebih ya untuk makan 10 orang. Kalau kamu pakai untuk 5 orang ke kurang daripada tu, kurangkan semua ni. Apa-apa pun jangan panik sebab kita boleh adjust. Serbuk jintan putih, serbuk kunyit, serbuk ketumbar, serbuk kari masala, serbuk chili. Wangi dah. Sekarang kita pakai ni sajalah. Okay, this is all there is. You can add it straight into the fire but lower the flame considerably. If not, switch it off. If you feel unsafe, switch it off. Don't know whether I have told all these ingredients. 1 flat soup spoon cumin seeds, half a soup spoon fennel, 2 curry leaves, half a spoon urad dhall, and some hing powder. And though I told you I won't be using any knife, any blender, nothing, just for this. In India, they would actually, even in Malaysia, they would just crush it with your hands. But I'm not strong enough for that. Okay, that's why I said you don't need to use any board, any knife, any blender. Okay, this dried garlic, this roasted garlic, just peel them. If you don't want the skin, it doesn't matter. You don't have to put the skin. Just break them up though. Bawang putih ni pecah-pecahkan kalau boleh. Kalau tak nak kulit, kupaslah. Tapi ini macam cara tradisi, tak perlulah. Kalau dia keluar sendiri tak apa. Bawang bakar ni sedap bau dia, suka. Love the smell of this garlic. Watch the ingredients. I'll show to the camera the ingredients as they go in. And I will just cut these 2 tomatoes because I don't have the sponge. Nanti selalu excited kalau masak ni. Sebab masak tak perlu cuci banyak-banyak. Hari ni sebab saya bubuh macam ni kan. So adalah nak cuci. Tapi kalau selalu buat tak pakai apa-apa pun. Tu nanti suka masak ni. I love cooking this because really there's nothing much to wash up. No chopping in the pot, no blender, nothing. I'm using just 1 knife now. And all these bowls I'll have to wash up because I'm showing you all. Otherwise, I don't even have to wash these things up. Okay, when I start cooking, I will just show you the ingredients. Remember, I'll go easy on the salt because all these stuff are salted. Using gingerly oil, you need a little bit of oil for this curry ya. So, masuk minyak bijan India ya. Kalau tak suka, pakai minyak biasa saja biar dia panas sikit. Sekarang minyak dah cukup panas. Lagi satu, nanti selalu lupa satu barang, kadang-kadang 3 barang. Ini urad dhall. I've forgotten another item. I need some, about half a soup spoon of mustard seeds. Lagi setengah sudu sup biji sawi saya kena cari sekarang. Saya masukkan halba dengan urad dhall. Okay, I have found the mustard seeds. Half a soup spoon. Dah jumpa ya. Biji sawi setengah sudu sup. Semua ni kita masak sampai ada bunyi pop-pop gitu. Then you put in the daun kari. Masak sampai wangi. Lepas tu masukkan bawang kecil. Bulat-bulat ya, jangan kopek-kopek ke apa. Oh, lupa chili kering sekali. Put in the red chili as well. I forgot about that. And all the whole small onions, all of them. Dia berbuih sikit sebab pakai minyak bijan yang India punya. So dia memang macam ni. Then put in the whole garlic. Oh, this one not chili kering. Put in the whole garlic. Now all of them. Masukkan bawang putih sekarang juga. Getting that very nice smell. If you make this, you can make this for about 2-3 days and freeze them. On the days you're vegetarian, just take out one of these. In fact, it will taste even nicer. It will last very well for one reason. There's no real vegetables in this. All are dried. And the onions are all fried. The garlic is roasted. So it will keep very well. In fact, some people make this and they don't eat it straight away. They will eat it after a few hours. Ini kalau masak, orang India akan simpan dulu ya. Dalam 2-3 jam ataupun pagi masak, malam lagi sedap. Hari keesokan pun sedap. Masukkan tomato dan masakkan. Put in the tomatoes now. Once the tomatoes go in, you can put in a bit of rock salt or coarse salt. You don't have to put a lot because all these vegetables contain salt already. Actually, I'm only putting about 1 teaspoonful of coarse salt. Saya masukkan 1 sudu kecil penuh garam kasar. Memang untuk masakan vegetarian semua memang sedap garam kasar. Okey, lepas ni kita masukkan serbuk hing. Ini kena banyak sikit lah. Sudu untuk orang makan, nanti masukkan 1 sudu sup rata hing. I put in 1 flat spoon of asafoetida powder. If you are cooking less, use less. Now I've reduced the heat. If you don't trust yourself not to burn this, then you can even switch it off. Okay. Saya dah kurangkan api, tapi kalau kamu rasa tak berani nak masukkan, tak boleh cairkan ni ya, tak sedap. Kita kena masuk kering-kering baru sedap, dia macam masak dalam minyak ni kan. So kita masukkan semua ni dulu. Kalau perlu kita adjust dan kacau-kacau dulu. Saya dah off api sebab takut juga kan, sebab clay pot. Boleh masak dalam apa-apalah, tapi clay pot lagi asli lah kan. Okay, sekarang you can cook this in any pan you wish, any non-stick or anything, but because I like this and it's a very rustic kind of veggie, I'm using a clay pot. Now I'll switch it back on just to be safe that it won't burn. The 2 jaggery pieces of jaggery will go in. If you're using less, just use 1 piece. Let it boil. Nanti sudah rasa memang sedap, cuma kurang garam dan mungkin chilli boleh masuk sikit lagi lah. Jangan banyak-banyak ya, sebab ni tak ada santan kan. I've tasted it, really tastes good. Only thing it lacks a bit of salt, but I won't add it now because I have the 2 veggie here that's going to be fried and put in, and that would be salty. Meanwhile, I'll just throw away the water from the mangoes. Saya masukkan mangga kering dan macam saya cakap tadi memang tak cukup pedas untuk saya lah. Saya masukkan 2 chilli powder. Putting in finally 2. Earlier I put 1, I think 1.5 earlier. So now I'm putting in another 1 flat soup spoon. So a total of 2.5. We'll see how it goes. It's really nice. Can't stop tasting. Once it starts boiling, bila dah mula menggelegak macam ni, kita turunkan api sikit dan masak dia ya. 10 minit itu bila dia masak betul-betul, baru asam dia semua keluar ya. Ingat ya, kari ni kalau nak pekat lah, nanti kamu tengoklah banyak mana saya pakai urad dhall dan serbuk ketumbar. Kalau suka, ada orang suka kari ni pekat-pekat. Saya biasa-biasa je, saya suka macam tu. Tak cair, tak pekat sangat. Kalau suka kari yang pekat-pekat, pakai lebih serbuk ketumbar ya. If you like a curry that's very thick, some people do, they like curries that are very thick, then what you do, instead of 1 soup spoon of the coriander powder, you increase it to 2. Then you'll get a thicker gravy. Sedap ni. Nanti suka yang masak-masak manis. Memang masak-masak manis, pedas. I like this curry because it's sweet, hot and sourish. Just my thing. Big blob of ghee. You don't have to use up all the ghee. You can retain the ghee and use it for other dishes next time. But I'm going to shallow fry this Sundakkai, or in other words it's called turkey berries, and the cluster beans or Kotha Avarakai. When I first saw that, I thought, oh my god, they're using the saga tree peas. I am pan frying. I'm pan frying the turkey beans in low heat. Don't burn them. Just roast them. This is added last. First go the cluster beans and then cook it for a while, and then add in the Sundakkai and just cook it down for a little while. If you're having thyra and things like that, yogurt and things like that with this dish, you can go hotter for this curry. And I'm cooking this curry in low heat. Oh, the smell. I love the smell. I want a bit more curry, just a bit more, so I'll add in about 3/4 of a mug of hot water. Nanti akan keluarkan ni, akan simpan ghee. Nanti akan keluarkan ni, akan simpan ghee. Bila beli sayur-sayur kering ni dekat kedai, make sure dia baru lagi ya. Kita boleh tahu dia baru lagi ke tidak. Kalau macam berdebu-debu sangat, jangan beli. Dia macam light chocolate brown gitu, itu saja kita patut belilah. Don't buy this if it's old stock in the shops. If it's very powdery, don't buy. And if it's very dark, don't buy. Because the real good Vathals will be, except for the Kotha Avarakai, that will be a bit dark. But most of it will have a very light brownish texture, brownish black texture. And another thing I am going to do for this right now is I've got a little bit of fennel powder. It's really up to you. If you don't like it, don't add it. Just leave it. That amount of fennel inside should be enough because it's already nice. I just feel like adding. Sorry, it's not fennel. It is actually fenugreek. They almost sound the same. Jadi anti salah sebut dalam bahasa Inggeris ya. Herbal tu fenugreek, bukan fennel. Saya pakai fennel tadi. Sekarang baru teringat. Bukan saya pakai perkataan yang salah sebab dua-dua pun start dengan F kan. Always adjust these curries according to your taste. Go easy on the salt. Some people would put ketumbar leaf while serving. It's okay if you're going to serve it and you're going to finish it then. Because if you're freezing it, I suggest don't put any ketumbar leaf because you want it to last. Like this, I'm making it for a few days. Now I'll add this in. Once you add this in, okay, I think I've been wanting to eat this for a long time. You haven't seen me this greedy, have you? Nanti dah lama mau masak ni. Tak tahu kenapa tak nak masak. Tak tahu. Dari suara pun tahu nanti dah bersedia untuk makan. Makan ni boleh buat papadam, satu lagi sayur, apa-apalah. You can eat this with papadam, any greeny vegetables or anything. Okay, any vegetables goes well with this. If you want to go totally vegetarian, but today I'm going to fry salmon fish to go with this. If you have a bit of thail, that will be nice as well to pair up everything well with papadam, of course. This curry is a bit thick. It will thicken later when the heat has gone off. So just press everything in if you're using a clay pot. For 5 minutes with the Sundakkai inside and switch it off and just leave it like that until serving time. This is Vathal Kolumbu, or in English it would be dried vegetable curry. Do try it. This is what it will look like once you keep it for some time. The oil will come up. We Indians love to look at curries like this because it's very appetizing, very tempting. The black things would be the dried vegetables that we have fried and put in. Don't worry about making this. If you have never made it, just make half the amount and don't worry about whether it will turn out nice. This curry is very forgiving in the sense that you can always adjust it a lot towards the end. You can adjust it with tamarind juice or jaggery or salt, but salt go easy. Do it at the very last moment because after keeping it for some time, all the salt from the veggies will come up. Okay, and another thing I must tell you, if you have never eaten this before, that Sundakkai or what you call turkey berry is actually very bitter. This is like I told you, is very good for many things. This Sundakkai, one of it is for diabetes. So those of you with diabetes, do make this. It's really yummy and very fragrant, but it's got a distinct taste. If you have tasted it anywhere and you would like to make it, do make half the amount and then have a look at it and see if you want to make more next time. This particular dish, you can make it in advance for 3 or 4 portions and freeze it because there's nothing else in there. Everything is cooked down. There's no vegetables, fresh vegetables inside. So it is a curry that will keep well and will taste better with time. Okay, ini adalah curry apa yang orang India panggil Vathal curry ya. Beginilah rupanya bila kita simpan lama, minyaknya akan naik ya. Memang sedap, wangi, tapi kalau orang yang bukan India tak pernah makan ni dekat kedai-kedai ke rumah orang ke apa, buatlah satu periuk kecil ya, mungkin separuh daripada amount ni lah. Okay, ini macam saya tahu orang India akan suka ni, tapi orang Cina dengan Melayu saya tak berapa pasti. Tapi kalau nak tahu, bau dia memang macam masam-masam, berempah, tapi tapi tak pedas. Aunty nak buat ni, awak tengok macam pedas kan? Sebenarnya tak. Kalau suruh saya rate ni 6 hingga 10 saja kepedasan dia. Kalau nak pedas lagi boleh lah, tapi aunty nak rasa Vathal tu, so tak buat pedas sangat lah. Dan Sundakkai iaitu turkey berry yang orang Melayu panggil terung pipit, dia memang bagus untuk diabetes. Semua sayur kering ni kalau awak Google nanti tengoklah, dia bagus untuk banyak penyakit, banyak benda dia boleh tolong lah, macam penglihatan, semua banyak. Nanti saya tulis nama India, nama orang putih, dan kalau saya tahu nama Melayu saya tulis sekali. So sendirilah pergi cari-cari ya. Dan kalau suka buatlah. Okay, jangan lupa like, subscribe dan share resepi aunty ni. Okay, bye.